Paul, today CFL announces no more contact in practice. What do you think?
Well, first of all, it's landmark, Patrick. It was a joint announcement between the CFL and the Players Association. And, you know, typically if we look at football in the States and the NFL, that's a really adversarial relationship between their Players Association and the league. And we see tons of health issues. Now, the CFL, you know that there's players affected. We've tragically seen Rick Klassen passed away this year. His family seriously looking at the impacts of all those years of playing football. But we always equate the damage to what happens in games. I think practices may be more damaging when you look at it in the long run, the repetition. I think this is a very progressive move by the CFL, and it's great news for the football players.
To me, the interesting aspect of that absolutely is the sort of ongoing player welfare aspect. You look at 18 games in a year. Some weeks they're really short. They don't have a lot of time to recover, and the more head contact you're dealing with, I mean, even that is going to be a challenge. And like you said, the repetitive hits in practice, you see how they go often the same thing over and over again, and nothing is a high-level blow, but those blows add up. And when you're dealing with your head, and we know, you know, there have been impacts on football players. To me, I agree. It's a totally smart
Well, that's the big one, but there's also your knee injuries, your shoulder injuries, playing through soreness. And we know there's no more traditional animal out there than the football coach. Look, the league has announced that this is a step, and it came out of nowhere. The PA's behind it. I really wonder, are all the coaches in the league really behind this, or are they going to say the right thing but be grousing about it behind? Because we all know it's like you can't get up to football speed until you get your bell rung a few times. You know, this announcement came out of nowhere. I think it's a great thing for the CFL.
It was a surprise to me. That the other thing that's going to be interesting is, you know, how are all these coaches going to adapt? I think lower level coaches probably been thinking in this direction as it is. How do we do football stuff without having hits, things like that? That's always going to be a challenge. But you know what? Hey, I think maybe we'll see some interesting insights into how these coaches operate based on that very much.
And the next thing we have to follow up on is what's university and high school going to do as well, because it starts down there.